Denied Love the Series Episode 4. Rin's Wife. By the time the movie ended, the two of them walked out with different expressions. Preenarin remained expressionless, as usual, since she had been dragged here without really wanting to come. On the other hand, Kimjira was in a great mood, thrilled to have spent time doing something together with her wife. That was so much fun. Next time, let's watch a horror movie together. I've always wanted to watch one with my lover, but I never had the chance because I never had one. You're my first love, Kun Rin. Kimjira rambled on happily. Preenarin suddenly stopped in her tracks, as if something had just come to mind. This counts as our honeymoon now. Huh? Her wife blurted out, confused. Kimjira fell silent, staring at her in surprise. Just moments ago, she had been as emotionless as ever, but now, after saying that, she actually seemed to be in a good mood. I am coming with you today. This is our honeymoon. That's it. Tell my father that we've gone on a trip already. After this, there won't be any other honeymoon trips because I have work to do. As the slender woman walked ahead, Kimjira stood frozen, mouth slightly open. That was a honeymoon? Just watching a movie and strolling around the mall? She had planned to invite her to the beach for the weekend, hoping to see her beautiful wife in a swimsuit. But oh well. At least she was allowed to sleep next to her on the same bed now. Not long after, Preenarin happened to run into Kiri, a man around her age. He was an important client that required special attention, not to mention the son of her father's acquaintance. Because of this, they had been meeting quite often lately. Oh, Kun Rin. What a coincidence. I didn't expect to see you here. Are you running errands? Yes, she replied. Seeing her wife chatting with a handsome businessman, Kimjira quickly rushed to her side, standing close and staring at the man as if marking her territory. Though she was small and delicate, she was still tall enough to pull her wife into a possessive embrace if only she weren't afraid of getting scolded. Are you working even on a Saturday? Kiri asked, glancing between the two women. He vaguely remembered that this stunning, model-like woman was the employee he had met before. We just had some things to take care of together. Preenarin answered with a casual smile. Kimjira, who had been closely watching her wife's every move, suddenly felt a surge of heat rise to her face. Didn't Jay and Balloon say she was cold to everyone? Especially to men who tried to pursue her? Or what? And this guy, just one glance at the way he looked at her wife, and Kimjira could already tell what he was thinking. Yet, her wife just smiled sweetly at him. In that case, may I join you? I have something I'd like to tell you, Kiri said. Something to tell her? With that look in his eyes? He's definitely going to confess. Kimjira convinced herself in her head, then quickly grabbed her wife's wrist and stepped forward. She puffed out her chest, making it clear to the uninvited guest that she was not welcome. We have personal matters to take care of. You understand what personal means, right? Let's go, Kun Rin. Kem. What are you doing? Preenarin protested as the taller woman pulled her away. She struggled, but Kimjira was stronger. They only stopped when they reached the arcade, a space mostly filled with children. Once they did, Preenarin yanked her wrist free. Let go. That was Kun Kiri, my client. How could you talk to him like that? So what? It's Saturday, not a workday. And we came here together as a couple. Why would I let that guy tag along? You should have rejected him outright. Why did you stay quiet? Kimjira feigned innocence. A client? So what? It wasn't like they had a work meeting scheduled. The person Preenarin should care about was her wife, the one wearing their wedding ring. But as Kimjira glanced at Prinarin's left hand, her heart pounded hard in her chest. No wedding ring. Not surprising, she thought bitterly. She doesn't love me. She probably doesn't want people to know she's married. You're so rude. How could you call him, that guy, like that? But Kun Rin, you said this was our honeymoon. Shouldn't we spend as much time together as possible? That's why. Let's go win a plushie from that claw machine. I want one to put by our bed. Kimjira strode ahead, exchanged some coins, and picked a claw machine filled with teddy bears. Prinarin sighed but followed her anyway. About last night. What about it? No one can ever know that we slept together. Right at that moment, Kimjira successfully grabbed a teddy bear. As it dropped into the prize slot, she picked it up and shoved it into Prinarin's hands. She had put all her effort into winning it since today was their honeymoon. She wanted to give Prinarin something. If it had been something more practical, she figured her wife probably already had it. I promise, Kun Rin. No one will ever know. You don't have to worry. Thanks. Prinarin looked down at the plushie in her hands, then up at Kimjira's bright, beautiful face. Rin. Then, the voice she longed to hear the most, the one she could recognize instantly, called out from behind her. Prinarin looked past her wife's shoulder and met the gaze of the woman who had once left a deep wound in her heart. Phi. The moment she realized that the person calling out to her was her ex-lover, the one she still had lingering feelings for, Prinarin immediately handed the teddy bear back to its owner and stepped toward Phi, completely forgetting who she had come with. She left behind the person who had brought her here, standing awkwardly in the background. What the hell? I take my wife on a honeymoon, and out of the millions of people in this city, we just had to run into her ex? Kimjira muttered, glaring down at the teddy bear she had worked so hard to win. She grumbled in frustration but could do nothing except stand there, feeling abandoned, like a kid waiting for their mom to finish chatting with a friend at the market. She could only hope this wouldn't ruin their so-called honeymoon even more. Prinarin approached her former lover with a complicated mix of emotions in her eyes. It had been months since they had last seen each other. Ever since they broke up, Phi had completely disappeared from her life. Though they were still connected through social media, Prinarin never had the courage to reach out, especially now that Phi had someone new. Now, they stood face to face, both tall and composed. Phi looked at her with the same expression she had on the day she ended things, a gaze that carried a hint of pity, something Prinarin could easily recognize. Sorry, I couldn't be there to congratulate you yesterday. I had something to take care of, Phi said. Her makeup was flawless, but Prinarin still noticed something off. A faint red mark peeked out from beneath the foundation on her cheek. Realizing she had been caught, Phi subtly turned her face away. It's fine. Are you doing okay? I haven't seen you post anything lately. I don't even know what your new boyfriend looks like. Prinarin said, trying to sound casual, though concern was evident in her voice. She wanted to reach out and touch Phi's cheek, to see for herself if the mark was what she feared. Had her new lover done this to her? But all she could do was ask. Tvi just been dealing with some things. Phi admitted with a faint, bitter smile. It's about your new boyfriend, isn't it? Prinarin asked directly. Phi hesitated but then gave a small, evasive nod, confirming it without saying it outright. You still know me so well, Rin. I always care about you. And only you. This time, Prinarin reached out and took Phi's hand in hers, completely forgetting that someone might be watching. But, Rin. You're married now, Phi reminded her. It's just a business deal. A marriage for convenience. In 2 years, we'll get divorced. The speaker might not have noticed the expression of the person they were talking about, but Phi did. She was the only one who saw how the woman standing behind her ex-lover looked at that moment. It was the same expression Rin had worn the first time Phi had asked to break up. Because of that, Phi hesitated before gently withdrawing her hand out of respect for the woman standing behind Rin. But she seems to love you very much, Rin. It's one-sided. Preenarin dismissed it without a second thought. From now on, don't disappear like that again. I want to know how you're doing. If you ever feel troubled or need someone, I'll always be here.